What's up, language learners? Welcome back to my Fluent podcast. I am Daniel, and this time I'm gonna show you 5 excerpts of various interviews I conducted with Alvaro from Spain, Nastya from Russia, Fifi from Iraq, Hamid from Pakistan, and Ricardo from Spain, but one thing after the other. So there was a competition on Luke's English podcast. By the way, I participated as well, and everyone had to send in a 2-minute long audio file in which we should convince the listeners or Luke why we should be on Luke's English podcast. The first prize was basically to become interviewed by Luke Thompson. Well, and the thing was that many listeners wanted to share their stories. And of course, Luke couldn't interview them all, so it would be a pity, it would be a shame not to listen to their stories. So that's actually the mission here now on the themed series The Brave 85. And why The Brave 85? Because 85 people didn't make it to the next round. So I tried to connect to some of them and to interview them, and so that we can learn about their language stories. So if you are one of those 85, and well, actually, if you have a story to tell, it just has to be related to language learning, you know? Actually, everyone is invited. Just drop me a mail to myfluentpodcast@gmail.com. So the following clips are just excerpts, as I mentioned in the beginning, but of course, I will publish the entire interview. Actually, I've already published the ones with Alvaro from Spain and Hamid from Pakistan.
Someone start a podcast and interview all of these people, okay? There's a whole list of people just there, guests with interesting things to say. Or maybe someone who's already got a podcast. Interview these people, please.
My name is Nastya. I'm studying at the university. I'm graduating this year, and I study linguistics. In my university, we have 2 departments: teaching English, teaching foreign languages and cultures, and interpreting. So I chose the first one, obviously, because I wanted to participate in WISPO Lab. I have a friend who is a translator, and we decided to set a challenge for us. We decided to read the same book, Stephen Krashen's Language Acquisition, and then share our experience about that. Yeah, and both of us were so deep into this book, and we learned a lot from that. That is how I discovered this Language Acquisition by Stephen Krashen, and I guess that is the best book I've ever read about language. Yeah, reading this book, I realized that the main advice is not to force yourself and somehow relax, because language learning really coincides with our psychology. Because if a person is stressed out and the level of anxiety is pretty high, that's when you can utter even a word. And the cool fact about this approach is that you're relaxed. It seems like you don't even learn something, because most people think that learning is hard work, but sometimes it's not at all. So yeah, basically that was the turning point when I decided to listen to podcasts, a lot of them.
So would you recommend this book to every learner?
I would even say that this book is absolutely mandatory for reading if you want to teach language. Stephen Krashen claims that sometimes learning language in a classroom is pretty much, let's face this fact, a waste of time. Yeah, but if we use some techniques of this language acquisition, that's when it works.
Yeah, my name is Wafaa Anwar Sulaiman. My friends know me as a Fifi, which is a nickname, or Fiv. So Fifi or Fiv. I speak Arabic, so it's like, let's say it's mother tongue. I also speak another language called Khaldan, which is for Iraqi Christian, or Babylon, from Babylon, south of Iraq, Khaldan. This is language for Christian in Iraq. And also I speak Kurdish, which is another language for the north of Iraq, Kurdistan region. So I have like 4 language different or from each other. And I'm architect. I have master's degree in architecture. I am a university teacher since 2010. Let me tell you the story behind the Skype. So I told you that I know that this podcast, Luke podcast, from a friend of mine. He told me that there is like a nice podcast. So one day I listened to him. There is a comment section or bar, below his podcast. So it was like kind of coincidence. I have made a comment. There is a guy called Antonio. He replied on my comment, "Hi Fifi or hi Wafaa. Do you want to join us on the Skype group?" I asked him, "What is the Skype group?" He said, "It's like a regular calls for the listeners." I said, "Okay, why not?" So at that time, it was 2017. After 3 or 2 months, I joined the Skype group. I joined the Skype group from different nationalities, from Spain, from Korea, from Japan, from Iraq, different countries there, from Russia. So all these people have a regular call each week, speaking about different topics in different way, depend on their mother tongue. So we have a regular meeting each Saturday or Sunday, depending on our free time.
And
since the 3 years.
Is it open for everyone, or is it just like a family? Has it become a family?
It's like a family.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
I am the biggest ninja labster in Europe. Yeah. I like to be hidden, then I promote Luke a lot. I really devoted to this man, to his project and all that. But I'm a ninja. I'm proud to be a ninja. Okay, well, my name is Alvaro. My nickname is Cortin. Okay, that's the name that I have in social media and all that. So my surname is Cortina, which is Cortin in English. Speech therapists know about this. If you sing, you cannot stutter. You cannot if you sing.
Oh yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah.
If you sing, yeah, try it. Dear listeners, if some of you are stutterers and all that, try to sing and you will never stutter, as far as I know. Okay, as far as I know. So the thing is that in Northern Ireland, I don't know if you've ever been there or if you know the accent there is very melodic. It's very, let's say, hello, what are you going today? Well, now my accent is a mix of Scottish and Irish, but now it's, hey, are you planning to go there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would like to go there with you.
I love that. I love that pretty much. How they speak.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like to imitate things. And then that's the accent that you can't. Remember that my English was absolutely null. It was really bad. Then that's the first accent. And then I felt myself singing. Yeah. So all you have is just to imitate the melody and all that. And I was just singing. Now my Northern Irish accent is terrible. I know that. Sorry for listeners from there. But it's like that. And so when I returned to Spain, I started to stutter again.
I'm from Pakistan. Pashto is my first language. I know Urdu as well, which is the national language of Pakistan. And of course, I know English a little bit. So I can speak 3 languages, yes.
Yes, but you say you can speak English a little bit, but that is not quite true. You teach English, right?
Okay. Because I know, maybe like any other language, English language is a C. And I've just begun to swim, I would say. So I think I'm more a learner than a teacher. And my language learning journey spans 2 centuries. Will you believe that?
Nice.
Yes, 2 centuries, because I started learning English properly in late 90s, last century. And I'm still learning English. So I think I'm a very lucky learner. I've been a blessed learner. And the reason for that is I'm not a talented language learner. I'm not smart. It's just I've been lucky. And what do I mean by lucky? Lucky means because I got very good teachers along the way. Like I remember when I was in 9th grade, so we had a very good English teacher. And that teacher was a polyglot. He spoke, if I'm not wrong, 7 languages.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I tell my students? I tell them that the child has no ego issues. We have ego issues, but I have a solution for that. So what I do, I write the word ego on the board, E-G-O, and I convert the O into G. So the ego becomes egg. So I tell them, convert this ego into an egg and break it. In a learning situation, forget about your ego. We are all language learners. There is no good or bad learner. We are all learners. We are all the same. We all make mistakes. Leave your ego outside your class and enjoy it. And some learners do that. They manage to break or convert ego into an egg and break it the way you did.
And how did you feel about it? Were you proud of yourself?
I am proud, yes. Yeah, I didn't expect that it would be so interesting for him. I know he likes humor, but this was the intention to make everybody's laugh. So I am proud of that piece of work.
And actually, I wanted to begin the interview by saying that you are one of the brave 85 of the Whisper competition, but who didn't make it to the next round. But actually, that is not 100% true, because Luke put your interview on episode number 696.
I also wanted to do a couple of other mentions of people whose recordings were in the list of 85 people who didn't get through to the last round. So the first one is the Ricky Sendy show, which I just thought was really funny. I'm going to play it to you now. So here it is. This is the Ricky Sendy show. Here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ricky Sendy show. Today, we have a real special guest, Luke Thompson from Luke's English podcast. For those who don't know who he is, Luke is an English guy who lives in Paris and teaches English. He is a comedian also, and he is the owner of the second most famous podcast for English learners, after this one, of course. Without further ado, I will show a quick summary of our last interview. Hello, Luke. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Where are you now? Are you comfortable?
I'm sitting in a lovely studio right now. I'm sitting in a leather armchair, sipping from a glass of brandy. I'm not wearing any trousers.
Whoa. Please, go on.
Everything's fine. Everything's under control. Everything's smooth because we're in the studio, okay?
Okay. Besides teaching English or podcasting, do you have any future project?
We're going to plan a bank robbery.
Amazing. Who hasn't ever planned a bank robbery? That's it, guys. If you are willing to listen a whole 1 hour interview with Teacher Luke with many other interesting questions, please vote for me.
Don't forget to smash that like.
This was really great. And I think everybody finds it funny. So my question is, when was it that you decided to take part in this Whisper Lab competition?
Yes, I am a long-term listener. So I've been listening for Luke's English podcast since 2014. And I listened to all the previous competition. The last one, it was maybe 16, something like that. And my intention was to participate on it, but I feel afraid. The idea started at that point. So I know I'm a normal guy. I don't have nothing special to say. So I thought, why not do a fake interview? When I started to make a sketch, draft, I write down many ideas. But the problem, at first I thought the problem would be find ideas. But when I started to make it, the problem was to fit only 2 minutes. I have material for 10 minutes. So I need to choose only 2 or 3 jokes or sentence to keep in this gap from 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it was the difficult part, but I have more ideas. I spent a whole weekend working on it.
A whole weekend,
just for 2 minutes. Yeah.
That is great, because I guess that you could learn a lot of English by doing this recording, because you had to listen to it again and again and put it together. Thank you very much, Ricardo, for being on my Fluent podcast. It was really
pleasure.
Great. And
you're very nice. I have a new listener for your podcast now.
Yes. Thank you.
I want to thank you for having me for this interview. That was just a lot of fun to talk about these topics. I hope another time, Luke and you and any other people who are devoted into podcasting will do something like that, and we'll interview other people as well, because each stories are really interesting because they're personal. Yeah, so I mean, the great thing that you do to interview others. I hope you also have a lot of fun talking to different people and learn something new.
Thank you so much, guys. You were really great, amazing. It was a pleasure to get to know you and to hear your story. Thank you so much, guys. So actually this episode was meant to be a teaser or a trailer of the different interviews, and I've set myself a goal to make it a 10-minute episode. Oh gosh, it's impossible. So whether you are one of the brave 85 or not, if you have a story to tell, well, of course it has to be language learning related, then send me an email to myfluentpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
But why are you doing this, Daniel? If I can ask you that, I mean, is this a hobby? I mean,
yes, it's a hobby.
Do you like that?
I love to podcast, and I began with this project in 2016 because I didn't get the chance to speak in English. The very first episode, I had to jot down every single phrase because I was not able to speak freely.
Wow.
And this is my method how I could begin to speak freely and become more confident. It's a passion. Yeah. And
so it's quite recent. I mean, it's just 3-4 years. I mean, it's not wow. It's
yes.
It's great. I don't know if you think, I don't know. I mean, you can count on me. If you want me to, on other occasions, just to talk about my methods, the way I teach. Perfect. I mean, just feel free, please, to get in contact.
Krashen claims that sometimes learning language in a classroom is pretty much, let's face this fact, a waste of time.
This song is called Upbeat Party by Scott Holmes, a great musician.
I am the biggest ninja lobster. But I'm a ninja. I'm proud to be a ninja.